So there we have it then, folks. The Safari Rally is done and dusted for another year. Let's talk about all the different stories that came up in the different categories and a couple of other little bits and pieces as well. And we'll start off with the top class, the WRC, the Rally 1 cars. Elfyn Evans gets a second win in a row. It's a third podium in a row as well for this season. It's just great form for the Welshman, isn't it? Currently on 88 points, he's 36 clear of Thierry Neuville in second place, with Oid Tanak in third place on 49 points now. Carlo Rofapera drops down to 7th in the standings after a retirement for mechanical issues before the start of the final leg. But the story of the rally was one of reliability. Oid Tanak was fast out the gates in the 2024 spec i20 Rally 1, now dehybrided, and he was fast until mechanical issues at the end of Friday took him out of the lead. Thierry Neuville at the same time was having to negotiate being ill. Adrien Fourmeau had a mechanical failure on Friday. He then pushed through to dominate Sunday, getting the full 10 points on offer, meaning that he is tied with Carlo Rofapera in the standings, despite the fact that Fourmeau hasn't been in the top 10 in the last two rallies. Likewise, Takamoto Katsuta performed quite well and was competing up at the front until that scary roll on the final stage. Toyota flipping on the power stage is scarily becoming a more and more common occurrence now after Ogier last year in Greece. I hope Katsuta makes it to the finish ramp. I've seen him go for the ceremonial finish, but it's 70 kilometers back to the service park from the final stage. So I could be about to get my results wrong. And again about P5 for the second time today, strangely enough. But outside of that, Greg Munster did really well. I've completely glossed over the fact that Sami Pyrie got 4th place, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's his first time on the Safari. To get 4th place is wonderful. Greg Munster getting the next one after Katsuta and 6th, potentially 5th if Katsuta is out. He got a stage win again, nearly competed for multiple more. He had a great performance, even if the mechanics had to be brought to service by helicopter to change his gearbox at the midday point. Josh McAlean had rotten luck, was performing quite well, picked up a Sunday point, which he deserves, because he had to change a steering arm in the stage. That's what dropped him well down the order and meant that he was outside of the top 10. Jordan Serdaridis was largely unaffected by mechanical issues that put out a lot of the other Rally 1 drivers and managed to get a P9, which was good. And then also meant that he was able to hang on to those points and was only beaten by the top 2 in Rally 2, who were absolutely rapid. But before we go any further though, and we look at the other series that were running alongside the WRC main event, if you do enjoy this, please hit the like button. It really means a lot to me. And if you do want to stick around for more content about the WRC, as well as other series such as Formula 1, the World Endurance Championship, or other more national series like IMSA and NASCAR and the BTCC, if you hit subscribe and get the bell, you will be notified of any future main uploads, as well as shorts, some of which are exclusive to shorts, some of which are clips of other videos, and my frequent live streams. But let's talk about WRC2 though, because Gus Greensmith gets a second win in a row on the Safari in WRC2. Second one in Fubby. It's now a different outfit. It's not with Dogsport anymore this season, but it's still a good win, and it's his first point-scoring WRC2 event of the season. Jan Solens was pushing him very close with the Toyota GR Yaris Rally 2, but rolled on the final day, had to go goggle mode like we've seen Lappi do before, for example. And yeah, good job of him getting second place. Falzaldavar ended up getting third place, which is almightily impressive. That puts him on 23 points after 2-point scoring rounds. Daniel Feast was in fourth, narrowly beating Petter Solberg. Sorry, Oliver Solberg even. Tells you how much of a Petter Solberg superfan I am, right? Oliver Solberg, who was the fastest Rally 2 driver on the event, he won the most stages, but was caught out for the second time in the Safari now in Fesh. I can't remember, was it 21 or 22 was the other occasion. I know he was in a Hyundai top class car, but I can't remember if it was the 21 WRC or if it was 2022 in the Rally 1. Just drove into Fesh and got stuck and had to suffer the consequences of it. The Toyotas were generally alright, as you saw with Solon's getting second place, though there were a few different issues. I mean, Kaitan Katanovic saw that as well, had to do lots of makeshift repairs, but he still manages to get to 6th place, ahead of Carlton Doe, Jeremiah Wahome, Miguel Diaz Aboitis, and then I believe Saman Singh Vora is the 10th place in WRC2. Then in WRC3, Nikhil Shania ends up taking the win. And, well, it was pretty much unopposed in the end. Naveen Puligila, who was the other one who was still running in WRC3, had to retire at the early on the Sunday. And as a result, Shania was able to just almost cruise to a class win over the final couple of stages. I waited to see that result come through because I believe there's last car on the running order, so that I could talk about it in this here review. Because in the end of the 30 crews that entered the event, 22 finished, but of those 22, 10 of them had to Super Rally. That means that only 40% of entrants were able to make it to the end without having to have any kind of assistance. And that's a big story. Now, the highest placed of them was Falzaldavar, who was 35 minutes off the win in 10th place. But when you look at the other names that had to have these assistants, like I said, Oliver Solberg, Carl Tundo, who lost his power steering on Sunday in an old spec R5. And then, of course, the likes of Adrian Formeau in the Rally 1 class. But either way, whilst it was the end of an impressive 1-2 streak for Toyota, where in the return to the Safari they managed to get 1-2 in every edition and in 2 cases lock out the top 4, the Hyundai double podium was a good send-off for their old spec Rally 1 car, whilst Toyota was still able to celebrate several things. For example, first Welshman on the podium since Nicky Grist alongside Colin McRae, first Brit and first British crew to win the Safari since, I believe, McRae and Grist. In addition to that, it was the 100th event for the Toyota Yaris in the WRC, and the 100th event for Toyota Gazoo Racing, as well as the 40th anniversary of the first Safari win for team principal for the event, Juha Kankkunen. What a nice little way to wrap it all up. It was really nice to see some of these different commemorations, different tributes in the way. For example, Greg Munster dedicated his 6th place finish to his late grandfather. It's nice to have seen a sort of emotional catharsis for the conclusion of this event as well. But that's that for Safari Rally Kenya. Thank you so much for watching and joining, folks. If you do have any thoughts, do let them be known in the comment section down below. The WRC will be back in 5 weeks for Rally Ila Canaria, but be assured I will be doing some stuff to do the WRC in the meantime. So until then, goodbye for now.